Happy Halloween.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle.
I'm Michaela.
And this is our Halloween edition. Can you guess who I am? Who am I?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Tell them what you're going to be this year, Christian.
Forky.
Forky from Toy Story, right? Yeah.
Gonna be a little Bo Sheep.
Who?
Bo Sheep.
Bo Sheep.
Yeah.
Little Bo Peep.
Yeah.
And who's going to be my sheep?
Sashi.
Sashi, our dog. And did you guys notice that Christian is already rocking his Christmas pajamas? Yeah. Got your PJs on? Who's that, Pikachu?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Santa.
With Santa hats. Oh, close up, guys, just in case you couldn't see from back there.
Candy canes. Candy canes. Boogie balls. Hat with a Pikachu.
Very nice, dude.
You forgot one.
What?
The present.
And presents.
And the present. All right, guys, if you follow us, you know that we have lived in the UK for the past 6 years. So it's only fit that today we're going to compare Halloween in the UK versus American Halloween. So let's get into the video. Okay, Michaela, let's guess. Who do you think first started Halloween? Like, what would be your guess?
I don't even have one.
No?
Mm-mm.
You wouldn't just automatically guess America?
I thought you were talking about a person.
No, like, because this is the UK versus America. So, who first started
Probably the UK.
the UK? That's not fair, guys. She heard me talking about it earlier. But ding, 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 she's correct. So, most people would just kind of guess that America started probably Halloween. But actually, France and Ireland, which is the UK, did start Halloween. And it dates back like over 2,000 years ago when they would actually make bonfires and they would dress up, and the whole purpose of this was to ward off ghosts and evil spirits. So now I think we just kind of take a lighter note, and we've now introduced trick-or-treating and the kids dress up for fun. So there's a lot of different things that go on, but there used to be like these just festivals that this happened actually for a purpose, to ward off the ghosts. Ooh. Came a long ways, of course, in 2,000 years, and America has now took it from the UK and adopted Halloween as we know it. So it is actually one of Christian's favorite holidays. He absolutely loves Halloween.
See why.
I don't either, because he's the biggest scaredy cat there is, and he doesn't like to be scared, but for some reason he's all about dressing up, and every year we usually have costumes that kind of match, and we are just full on Halloween in this house.
I'm not a scaredy cat. You know that? I would just dress up, go trick or treat, and we go to Legoland too.
Yeah, but you are super scared if something is like dark and scary.
Kittens too.
Skeletons too? Yeah. So why do you like Halloween so much?
It's fun. Like you get like treats.
You get candy?
Yeah.
Do you think America does Halloween bigger, or do you think when we, like in the UK, Halloween was bigger?
I don't know.
You would have no idea because you've been in the UK for 6 years, and guys, he's only 6. So, he wouldn't know. He's not going to be the one to answer that. But guys, we are going to compare what we know as being a little bit older and have experienced Halloween in both places. Back to comparing. So this did start in Ireland and France, like I was talking about before, and it was kind of like the end of summer, and they knew that the cold days were starting to set in. It was the end of the harvest seasoning, and for some reason that was associated with death. So yeah, Halloween definitely has a darker side to it.
I don't like to be scared.
Yeah, and now we just take it so lighthearted, and it's just about being scared and trick-or-treating, but there was actually a purpose behind it. But anyways, today we're just going to kind of compare what we experienced in the past 6 years, and then American style, which we've done plenty of times before, Halloween in both places. Okay, Michaela, so from your experience, who does bigger Halloween?
The US.
The U.S.?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree, guys. When we first moved to the UK and we were thinking about like trick-or-treating and all that, it was just totally different. And one of the first things I noticed is there's not a lot of events that happen around Halloween. To whereas in the U.S. we have all these theme parks, like Christian was mentioning earlier, Legoland, Busch Gardens, or not even that if you just live somewhere else. What is it, like hay rides and haunted trails and haunted houses, and you're going to see those on every single corner in America, no matter where you live. And Michaela was just telling me earlier about somewhere in California. It's like we do it at Christmas time in America. We light up whole like little villages. They've lit up this whole area, and I guess it's spooky, and you drive your car through.
There's like blow ups, and then like just a bunch of like pumpkins carved with the lights in them, and then just like Halloween lights hanging everywhere, and you can just drive through it and enjoy your night as like seeing Halloween lights instead of Christmas lights or Halloween lights.
See, that was new for me because I'd actually never even heard of that, which I've never lived in California before, but I thought that was kind of awesome or kind of cool if you're really into Halloween. We do things like that for Christmas, and people light up a lot of stuff, and they even do that in the UK, and you can drive through and look at it, but I'd never heard of anyone doing it for Halloween. So that's definitely something huge here. Back to the UK, like, we didn't see any extra stuff even when we were trying. I know the girls, because the girls were teenagers and have grown up there, and they were looking for haunted houses or a haunted hayride, and we couldn't find anything of that nature. Yeah?
It was so hard to find stuff to like do for like, just to go out with your friends on a Halloween. Like, you know, you see to do something, and it was so hard to do something.
Well, you did go trick-or-treating with us.
Yeah.
She had to still go trick-or-treating with us.
Which I like the trick-or-treating. It's just in England, and you know it's cold. It's not really fun. And then it rained one year on us. So then we're out,
1 year?
Yeah, and then it like rained. So then you're out there trying to collect candy. Your hands are freezing because you got to hold the bucket and say trick-or-treating. And then, so that's when it just doesn't become fun.
Last year, guys, it rained on us the whole entire time.
And it was cold.
And it was so cold. And all the little kids are out there, and they're dressed up, and then they have these big, huge coats on. And I'm like, oh, they're poor little costumes. You can't even see it because these coats are on. But, yeah, most years it rained on us for Halloween anyways. But we still, sometimes we just took our umbrellas, or we didn't take our umbrellas, and we just ventured out into the rain and the cold and did that. As far as dressing up, I think that America does, they go out and about with it a lot more, if that makes sense.
Like college will do Halloween college parties and all that, so you kind of get a little bit more in the U.S. with Halloween.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, even from like dressing up, I think in the UK I saw more of like your typical Halloween costumes, you know, like you would always see it as like a character or something, where I think in the U.S. we broaden that a lot more, and there's a lot of homemade costumes, there's a lot of creativity, and I don't know, and that's just probably because Halloween wasn't really big in the UK.
I know this is off topic, but I saw on TikTok someone dressed up as 2020.
The number 2020?
Like this year's 2020.
Yeah.
And they made it on a shirt, and they just put like a little bunch of stuff on it. Like they made it like a little foam ball and put little dots as like the coronavirus, and then like everything else. It was like, that's kind of creative. Like,
it is, and hopefully they put under their worst year ever or something.
I don't know.
Under there.
I don't know. I don't remember the TikTok. I just thought it was creative that someone would ever think to be the year 2020, because they actually have a movie about it.
Yeah, I had already thought a great costume would be 2020, the worst year ever. And I'm one of those people that I like to be very creative with my costumes, and I thought the same thing, like put a little, you know, like somehow kind of just fit in everything that's happened in 2020 into one costume, and it just seems like
they did a movie about it.
Keeps going downhill.
I watched the trailer on it.
I don't know that I want to just keep on with 2020. So, I don't know that would be a great costume, but it's very creative. But anyways, guys, I do think in America that we get more creative with our costumes. I think the UK just kind of sticks to the basic costumes. And like I said before, that's probably just because we celebrate it a little bigger here. We probably celebrate, it's not just a one-night thing. It's probably like the whole month. People are having parties or something's happening that I know sometimes, like back in America when the girls were small, and we were living here, I mean, I would dress up with them too, but we would have something going on, like, it seemed like once a week through the whole month of October.
And I know some people will have two different costumes because they would still be going to the same thing with the same friends, but doing a different event. So they didn't want to wear the same costume because they wanted more pictures, so they would have two costumes.
Yeah.
but they would still pick them kind of easy. But they're homemade costumes.
And I think in America though, that allows some costumes to be more flirtatious than the UK. I mean, we have bunny rabbits as women, and there's not a whole lot of clothing.
Police officers that are like leotards.
Yeah, there's barely anything there. And you know, your sexy nurses, they're definitely not wearing the old white uniforms or anything. So I think that definitely plays into our costumes are a little more sexy here in America, and I did not see anything like that in the UK when we were living there. All right, so the next thing is kind of the pumpkin patches. Now, in America, we have lived in some places that are more country, and especially like in North Carolina. But even in North Carolina, unless you're going up towards like the mountain area, you're not going to really find a whole lot of areas where you're going to go out and just be able to pick your pumpkins.
Yeah.
You do get to do hay rides and corn mazes, and there's things like that. And there might be like a pumpkin farm where there's already pumpkins sitting out and you choose. So when we went to the UK, I kind of got spoiled because we went to an actual farm where we were able to take the barrel out, and we got to go and pick out our pumpkin, and they were actually growing on the ground. So it was taking them actually off the vine. Yeah. And everybody's out there, and you're just making a whole day of it. And there's bouncy slides. There's mazes. And there are things like that here in America, but you cannot find it where you're just going to pick your own pumpkin.
Yeah, like now they have them in just bins and be like, okay, this is the large pumpkin's this, the small pumpkin's this. You can just pick them out. It's not as fun as going out and picking it off the vine. Walking up and down them to find the perfect pumpkin. Like, I found
because we spent hours
taking photos.
Yes.
Now it's kind of harder to get photos unless they have like decorations out or something.
Yeah, so it's definitely, and the weather's a little bit cooler in the UK for October.
So it actually feels like fall.
Oh, it's kind of nice, and you get that day that it's not always raining in October, so you get those nice days, and you just get to go out there, and we would make a whole day out just picking out our pumpkins. And I mean, and the price wise, it seemed really good there. Like, they're not that expensive, because you would think, oh, to get that experience, the pumpkin's going to be overpriced, but they were not. I mean, they were definitely reasonably priced, so that was definitely fun. One thing I don't know is I think the UK back in the older times they would carve more of like gourds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not truly a pumpkin, where Americans take the actual pumpkin and carve that. I don't actually know, guys. You comment down below. Is it something to do in the UK to carve pumpkins? Because I don't know that my British friends did that.
No, because I don't think Jacob was telling me.
Yeah, her boyfriend.
Yeah, because we carved pumpkins one year together.
Yeah?
But I don't think
He had said he'd never done that, right?
Yeah, or something. I don't think it's a thing they do.
No, I think that's why he was so interested to come do it with our family, because definitely, guys, we're doing things different. We don't realize we were actually doing them different till Jacob can help us, and he's like, what are you doing today?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's, I mean, I'm sure there's some families in the UK that are carving pumpkins, but I don't think it's quite as big as most American families. That is just something we're going to do as part of it. Even if you're not celebrating Halloween, it's just a fall thing to do. It's fun to get your pumpkin, carve it out and set it out and see who done the best. And we just kind of spend all night, like a whole night, doing that. And then you take the seeds
and eat them while you're carving the pumpkin.
You take the seeds from inside, and I just clean them off for the kids, and I put them on a baking sheet. You salt them a little bit, you put them in the oven, you bake them, and they eat them while they're carving. And this whole little like adventure, or this whole little night, turns out of just carving your pumpkin. So there again, we are to a whole month celebration of things that we're doing, not just from dressing up and trick-or-treating. And I noticed in the UK, it's more of just dressing up and trick-or-treating. And those spots were even hard to find in the UK when we first moved there. And it was funny because our British friends started saying, yeah, you'll have to go to the American neighborhoods. American neighborhoods in the UK? And they're like, yeah, I mean, like the Brits know where those neighborhoods are, and they're more Americanized, and the British want to go actually down those neighborhoods to get the American candy. So I was like, oh, and out of that whole neighborhood, guys, we knew when we got our buckets home that it was an Americans that were actually participating, and more the Brits were not, because when we got home and could notice the difference, we know the difference between the candy. Yeah, so we knew that it was a bunch of Americans that were actually giving out the candy. So that was kind of fun. There was a lot of kids that, and British kids that like to come out to that neighborhood, but it was mostly the Americans that were handing the candy out in the neighborhood.
One year we handed it out.
We did. We handed it out a couple times, and I know, like last year, Christian wanted to do it. We had been out trick-or-treating, and it had started raining, and I was like, well, buddy, we have a lot of candy. We'll just go sit at the door, and we'll hand it out the rest of the night. But that's always a lot of fun for us, too, but Christian likes to kind of go door to door.
I think more now I would rather them come to me and Christian and them go out, because now I'm getting older.
You're 19 now. So, yeah.
So, I think I find actually enjoyment handing people the candy.
Yeah, I think that's fun, too.
Fun.
Yeah, that is really fun. But, see, I still love to dress up and go out and trick-or-treat or go out and have fun and get to do that part of it. So, I don't mind actually walking around trick-or-treating either. So, the last little topic we'll touch on, of course, like we had already said, America kind of does it bigger. But, so that would just be like the houses. In America, it would be common to just kind of go, and you're going to see every other house that's kind of evenly got a ghost, a pumpkin sitting outside. Some go to the extreme where it's coming out to the driveway, and when you're trick-or-treating, you're walking through, and you're all scared to even get in to get the treat. And some of them you're just like, no, and you got Freddie and Jason chasing you down through neighborhoods just to go trick-or-treating. And that's definitely not something I saw in the UK. Back to that. I didn't see a lot of houses that even... I mean, not even from a wreath. Like here, even if nobody's celebrating Halloween in the house, you're at least going to have
decorations.
A little bit of a spooky wreath or something like that on your door. And that's just, those were very few and far in between. And even the ones that we went trick-or-treating to, a few of those did have decorations out, but it wasn't even a lot of...
But it was because it was like the American side.
Yeah.
Houses is just because they were the Americans. So
right.
Of course they had the decorations.
Right, but not a lot of them had it either. And maybe just because it's just not that big of an event to do that there. I'm trying to think. I did have wreaths out on my door. I had made witches wreaths and put that out there, but I don't think even I had much more than that. To where in America I would have had ghosts hanging on my door, things flashing, and we would have had a big ordeal. But yeah, so just overall, I think America does it a little bit bigger, yeah, than the UK. But that's okay too, guys. It was still just enough. Like I said, we honestly just enjoyed the pumpkin patch part of it. Absolutely adore that part. And so those parts are fun for us too. So one's definitely not better than the other. It's just different than, you know. Yeah. And like now you can see my little boos and my little pumpkins, and yeah. So that is us Americans comparing the UK's Halloween to each other. Hopefully you guys like this video, and happy Halloween, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Watch Mommy on TikTok.
Watch Mommy on TikTok.
And videos.
And videos.
Mwah.